Hello, I'm Scotty with Scotty Animation, and this video is about my Tandy 1400 laptop. Well, more of a luggable computer from the mid 1980s, made by Tandy Corporation. It's supposed to be an IBM PC compatible computer, and it does a pretty good job. I just wanted to upgrade it, and in doing so, I got a Gotek Drive to replace Drive A, and I finally got it working, and I'm going to show how I did that later on in the video. The blinking red light there is just the indicating that the internal battery is not charging. I think that's what it means, but as you can see from right here, there is no internal battery. So it's not there. I also removed the little battery for the time and date because it was leaking, and I thought I'd go ahead and get rid of it while I was inside the case, and I didn't replace it. I just took a pair of cutters and removed it. Didn't see any need in replacing it. I'm not too worried about time date stamps on this computer. I'm going to zoom in on the screen and show the Gotek Drive working up close. Also, the screen, I did modify that. The original screen was getting too dim, and so I replaced the electroluminescent screen with one I got from eBay. It was about 25 bucks, which isn't too bad. I originally wanted a white display. That looks better. I did do a test with a smaller EL panel, and so I ordered a larger one that would fit the entire screen, and unfortunately there was problems in shipping, so I didn't get that. I had to order a clear blue one, and that's what I'm using on it right now, and it looks pretty good. It's better than the one that was in it. And this is the one that was in it. I did trim it there because I was doing testing on a Tandy Model 200, which I'm going to have a video about that later on, where I was trying to backlight the display on it. But anyways, back to this. So I'm going to zoom in and get a close-up of that. I'm going to cut this video right now. Alright, sorry about that. I'm trying to keep this video in segments. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try to show the Gotek and the screen at the same time. Show you it working. You see the little green light up on the Gotek, and that's pretty cool. It took me a while to figure out, it took me a good day to figure out how to program or flash the Gotek Drive with the right software to make it work, because when I first got it, it didn't work. And let me zoom out and show the whole thing again. Okay, sorry about the lousy video production there, guys. Anyway, what else? Hang on, getting my thoughts together about what I can talk about here. This cable, I don't know if you can hear me or not because the microphone's across the room. This goes from the internal power supply over to the is not there, and I clipped this off. No need for it anymore. To get the drives in there on the metal chassis underneath them, well, there's a plate. This thing right here. This sits underneath the drives, but on top of the metal chassis. And I had to take this off to be able to get the ribbon cable on both drives and connect it to the main board. Alright, so this is the software I use to flash the Gotek Drive to update its firmware. So it would work with my older IBM PC compatible computer, and I will have a link to where you can get this software. It's free. You will have to get your put in your email address, so they will send you a download link that you can get it. So I hate doing that myself, but you know, there's no other way. I looked online for software that would do the same thing, and didn't really find anything. So I went ahead and just, okay, I need the software. You know, because I wasted a couple of hours, you know, trying to find an alternative to this, and I didn't find one. You guys might get lucky, or you might know of another location that you can get this from. But I got this from, you know, the original company's website, so it's trusted, and well, I trusted it. You know, I did a virus scan on it just to make sure, but trust but verify, right? But I will have a link to the software in the description of this video. This is called STM32Cube Programmer, and it's just made, I think, basically for, you know, flashing firmware, you know, on devices. You will need also, I think it's the latest Java also to run this too, because I had to download that, which I didn't want to do either, but you know, I had to get it to work. But anyway, so if you go right here, I want to show you what you have to do to your Gotek to be able to connect it to your computer. And it's not that hard. It's pretty easy, and you don't have to solder either, so that's nice. But when you set your Gotek up hardware wise, and you can connect it to your computer with a normal USB cable, just a plain Jane type A USB cable, just it will connect right up, and it will appear right here where the cursor is at, and when it's there, then you can hit connect. And you know, I should have filmed that, but I didn't because I was just trying to get it to work. And after you do that, then it'll show the contents right here. Then you can go over here and click right here to where you can erase it and program it. Erasing and programming. You load in the hex file and just flash it, and it works. So I'm gonna give you some more information right now. Oh, one more thing on this subject. You're gonna need the flash floppy Gotek. I use version 2.14 hex file, and I'm going to show you, and I'll have a link to the website that you can get this from, and all this stuff's free, you know, for download. But in the instructions, I was seeing stuff like you had to use the .dfu or the .upd, and I didn't use any of those. I used the .hex when I flashed it. So I don't know what's going on with the other two files, because some of the other stuff I've seen on like YouTube showed people using the .dfu. So I don't know. I used .hex, and that worked for me. So your mileage may vary, I guess. Alright, so that is the Tandy 1400. I'm still going to have to repair the power supply. It's a bit flaky, but it's working. So until next time, this is Scotty Animation, and I'll talk to you later. When repairing this Tandy 1400 computer, the first thing that I wanted to fix was the screen, because it was way too dark and it was really hard to see. And so I got online and looked for a way that I could brighten up the screen. And so I got one of these A4 size electroluminescent panels, and you can cut it to fit, which is really cool. Now, prices will vary. These prices may not be good anymore. This is back when I got one, and I did have to get the cool blue one because they were sold out of the white, but white is preferable. Sometimes it is hard to get in this size, but that will provide the brightest backlight. So, and I will provide a link to this in the description of this video. This is the Gotek Drive that I bought, and you will need an adapter, which I also show in this video, that you can get. There are a bunch of different Gotek drives, so I'm just showing you the one I got, and so all the other parts and stuff that I suggest you getting, that only applies if you get this Gotek drive. And I will provide a link to this in the description of this video. The Gotek drive that I had ordered had a newer connector. It was the new 3.5 inch disk drive connectors, and so the Tandy uses an older version that the power is in the same connector as for the drive itself. So I had to get this adapter to break that out into a normal, or the newer 3.5 inch disk drives that had a separate cable for the actual drive and for the power. So you'll need this if you get the same Gotek drive that I got. And once again, I will provide a link in the video. Alright, this is the interior of the Gotek drive. On the circuit board, you'll notice in the upper left hand corner there are some empty pin sockets, and you can solder pins here if you want to. I did not. What I did was I took a paper clip and cut little pieces off of it and made two of them into U shapes, and so I can use that to just jump those jumpers settings. Now you're going to need two. So the first one, that's just a straight vertical, that tells the Gotek drive that you want to flash the firmware. And the second jumper you'll have to make, the diagonal jumper, will be, that's what gives the drive its 5 volts it's going to need to power itself. And all you need to do is take a standard type A USB cable, connect it into your computer, and then connect it into where the thumb drive goes on the Gotek, and you'll be able to flash it. Now, after you flash the firmware on the Gotek, remember to remove those jumpers before you put it into whatever device. In this case, it's the Tandy 1400. Now, if you don't, it's not going to hurt anything, because I forgot to take them out, and I put it in the Tandy 1400, and it didn't hurt nothing. So, I put it in, and it's like, wait a minute, it's not working, and it's like, oh, okay, I forgot to take these out. So I took them out, put it in, and it worked fine. So, but if it doesn't work right, then just remember to remove those two jumper settings. Flash floppy. You will need this. Well, this is what I use. There are probably other alternatives, but this was necessary to get the machine to flash the Gotek drive so it would behave as a standard floppy disk and emulate the 720K floppy that the Tandy 1400 needs. So just download this, and it's got the I used the hex file to flash the firmware on the Gotek Drive. And once again, I will provide a link in the description of this video. For more content, you can visit www.scottyanimation.com. There's a lot more stuff on there.